Hi everybody, it is wonderful to be here with you, and this is the December 2016 Twin Flame Unconditional Love True Love forecast for masculine feminine energies and for those committed to a path of love, freedom, truth, and most of all freedom, I have to say. I was just having a bit of a shuffle before I started, and really it was just all flowing, so I had to put the camera on because I'm very excited about this December. I can even feel it. There's a lot of energy in these cards right now. There have been some massive shifts in November. If you haven't watched some of the weekly Vimeos for November, just go and take a look. The last two. It's worth investing in. It's created a lot of I've had a lot of questions actually, which is good, but it's more about how one uses one's intuition, which is really the key to this. It's like, how do I be who I really am? How do I be who I really am? It's like, how do I just allow my individual expression of love to move through me? So there's been a shift in November, and December is going to be, there's a huge amount of things happening in December. I can feel it. I mean, this has happened again. I said that the weekly for the third week in November was the most powerful reading I've ever done. This is the most powerful reading I've ever done right now. So welcome. Okay, thank you for being here. And just a bit more shuffling and let's go. Cool. Amazing. Hierophant is on the bottom of the deck. The Hierophant was on the bottom of the deck when I began to shuffle the cards about 5 minutes ago. And I do different shuffles when off camera, and he wanted to be on the bottom of the deck, and he is marriage. For me, there's a lot of different interpretations of this card, but the way he's communicating to me over the past few months is, and in my readings, is the marriage card. He's the marriage card. He is also about community, because that's actually what marriage is about. Union, unity, community, togetherness. That's what marriage is about, but it's also about connecting with everybody. And yes, I am building a space for us to do that within. And I'm excited to launch that next month. Yes, it's marriage. And this is the big things happening in December in terms of commitments. It was coming to me even before I started this reading. Commitments. You've got to commit. People think they're committed to things, to ideas even, but they're not. If you're not taking the action, it is about taking the action. And it's quite difficult to explain, but you've got to invest. You've got to go out there. You've got to make the investment in the things that you believe in. And it is about commitments. And it is about creating something solid and something legal, something. I tell you the great thing about marriage, and I believe why my message, and you, because you're here, this group of people, the importance of marriage, and I will explain, is that it is about the integration of what we believe spiritually to be manifest in a physical form. It's the bridge. It's a symbol of the bridge between what some people call 5D and 3D. And if you, it's real, then it's real. If it's on paper, it's real. That doesn't mean that marriage, you know, marriages happen for very, very many reasons. And just because you're married doesn't mean, you know, it doesn't mean anything inherently at the same time. It's a paradox. But it is about making a solid and material thing, you know, out of a very highly spiritual, kind of unknowable thing is love. It's not a material thing, but there are symbols around it. Big message there, big message. So I'm going to do my usual spread. Going to do the masculine on this side, and we're going to start right away. First card for the masculine, the Queen of Swords. Second card for the masculine, the King of Swords. Third card for the masculine, the Six of Wands. Fourth card for the masculine, the Ten of Cups. Oh, just move that up a little bit. First card for the feminine, the Sun. Second card for the feminine, the Eight of Pentacles. Third card for the feminine, the Hermit. Fourth card for the feminine, the Fool. I knew that was going to be a major arcana as well. So, energy the feminine brings, energy the masculine brings, root and top. Bottom of the deck, as I said, was the Hierophant. And before I started recording, it was interesting. I was playing a little bit with maybe having. I knew that this bottom of the deck card was going to be very important, and I moved it to the top here when I was doing the setting up the shot, and it was the Hierophant. Because it was before I shuffled. Before I shuffle, I just kind of, you know, get the cards out. And if there's sometimes a few little messages come, but I feel like I want to put the Hierophant up here. Okay. Okay, that might just make the shot a bit difficult. Let's move it down a little bit. Is it in? Is it in? We can move this down, can't we? I just really felt like the Hierophant wants to be there. Do you remember a few weeks ago, people that follow, a few weeks ago it was the High Priestess, now it's the Hierophant. Isn't that interesting? It's all about the masculine rising. The masculine to meet, you know, the divine masculine. The Hierophant, the divine masculine, the high spirit, the high priest. Meeting the High Priestess. He's here. And he's here to wed us. I really like that setup. I might now... I like this setup a lot. Doesn't that look good? That feels nice, doesn't it? Look at that little set there. Now it feels... Talk about union, just feels different. Looks different, but it looks good. There's just nice balance and symmetry here. Anyway, I'm getting a bit excited because you know that I do that sometimes. So, right, yes, the Hierophant has a lot to say. The masculine is here to play. And one thing I want to say, this is a dance, this is a play. We got to play. We got to have more fun. First message, much, much, much more fun. Right, now let's dive in to the cards. First card for the masculine, the Queen of Swords. This is the divorce card. This is a feminine card of cutting and decreeing. For me, this card speaks very loudly. It's the arm of the Queen decreeing. This is the way that it is. And the sword, it is that sword of truth, but it's also will. It's her will. This is my will, and you must abide by it. So, and there's an iciness to her. But she is then right next to the King of Swords. The pair is here. There's a lot of pairing going on. So what's going on for the masculine is there's a balancing of the masculine and the feminine energies in his thinking. But they are still quite harsh energies. Or they feel like they are. There is a bit of a harshness to them. The first impulse I had when this Queen of Swords came out, it's really interesting actually, the Queen of Swords then kind of decreeing divorce to the Hierophant here. There is also a message that there will be some separations of marriages that are not working. That message began to come through just when it was on the bottom of the deck. It was that there's this kind of understanding of marriage. So that means that marriage that isn't working will disappear and marriage that is working will emerge. The vehicle. Marriage is a vehicle. It's not, it can exist anywhere, but it's a vehicle. So it's about it being being used for the right thing, like going on the right journey, if that makes sense. So it's like, this is not the right vehicle for this relationship, but this is the right vehicle for this relationship. It's being clarified. So there's an ending to some marriages on the masculine side, and there's this kind of connectivity, connection, unity with this pair, the King of Swords here. So it's a bit like that frees him. It's a bit like the ideas of marriage, the ideas that he's been having about marriage are really shifting. I think this came up before, recently as well, in one of the weekly readings. It's this, I think it was this week, this week, I think it is this week's reading, where there is this marriage shift for the masculine, and it's here now. And it's about his understanding, his thinking. So for December, it grows, it's more. It is a really big December energy. The masculine, feminine balancing. The way I see it, it's that the masculine and feminine are both there. But then there's always going to be one, not always, but there is one that's there's like an energy that overarches what I call the true feminine or the true masculine as it's moving in its highest form or its higher form, in its highest expression, shall we call it. And so there's balance of masculine and feminine, and it means that the true masculine then can rise on the masculine side. In balance, then something new emerges. It's a creative force. So this masculine, high priest masculine energy is born from the balance of those two. But it is about his thinking. Swords are mental. So it's really that the masculine is getting his head around this love thing and how it works actually, I believe, in a practical way. So the feminine starts off with the sun. This is freedom, optimism, fun, fearlessness, play, joy. Also kind of represents the masculine, the sun. So the sun lights her way. For a while there was this the Eight of Cups card that symbolized the feminine moon the lunar moon lighting the way, reflecting the sun's light to lead the way for the masculine. And now it really feels as though the masculine is actually lighting the way for the feminine in this card. And so just be aware of that. I got the idea, I get the feeling that a few people won't feel as though that's what's happening, but it will be. And open yourself to how that could be playing out right now in this now moment. The second card for the feminine is the Eight of Pentacles. This is practicalities, Pentacles, and this is work, and it's a big thing for the feminine at the moment. It's also money, creation. It's this idea of working to, I feel like it's like working to make money, or working to create a creative thing. It doesn't necessarily need to be money, but maybe it is this sense of abundance. It's a tricky, not a tricky energy, but it's a little bit, it is a bit tricky. It's not to work too hard, because if you work too hard, basically, if work feels resistant, then it's not creative. Creativity tends to flow. There's a higher state of consciousness in powerful creativity. And if we work too hard, it can be resistant. So that's a strong message there for the feminine in terms of the creation of abundance in her life. But it is also about enjoying that process. So this is about practical things in your life, but it's also about this relationship here between two people. It's about enjoying the process of building and creating and moving, and not always being focused on this end point. Of course, in the process of creativity, there's always an aim. But it's kind of like the aim is there and then it's forgotten, and then the flow will take you. The third card for the masculine is the Six of Wands. So the masculine, there's something, okay, so there's something going on here. I feel a bit like I'm kind of missing, not missing, but like there's some kind of, I'm struggling to get across to you this kind of connectedness. So what I want to say is that it's already done. It's already done. And this is just, it's all unfolding now. It's already happened. Everything you want has already happened. And now it's just unfolding itself to you. And so I'm speaking from a place of you've already got what you want. I'm not speaking from a place, or this reading isn't speaking from a place of this is what you need to do to get what you want. It's like you've already got what you want. Enjoy this process as it unfolds, if that makes sense. The victory card here, number 6, the Six of Wands, the victory parade for the masculine. And it's just as though for such a long time the masculine was kind of doing other stuff, and it felt like there was kind of resistance toward the feminine, especially with this group. And now it seems I have to say it's a little bit flipped. There's more resistance on the feminine side in terms of this togetherness. And again, if that doesn't seem accurate to you, think of, just dig a bit deeper. Dig a little bit deeper. Always take what resonates here, but if it doesn't resonate, sometimes that's a really good thing to play with. It's like, oh, that isn't resonating, but how can I move this around and change this around to maybe find a place where it does? Is there a message in here? Seek, dig deep for the messages. So yeah, 6 of Wands here for the masculine. It's victory. It's like he's already won. He knows it's here and done. If there isn't any communication to this, in this, for the feminine, it's because he knows. He knows, and therefore it's like, I don't need to do anything. It's kind of like, you know, I don't need to tell you I love you because it's obvious. And that's not to say that that's kind of best or anything. It's just that, in a way, it's like, it's this idea, if you need me to say I love you, to know that I love you, then I'm not going to say it. And that's not in a petulant way, and it's not even in a conscious way, not in a, you know, it's not a planned way, it's not even he may not even understand. The masculine may not even understand that that's what's going on, but really that's the deal. It's like, I'm not going to give you what you want if you need it in order to believe that I love you, that I care about you, that I'm here for you. Or that we are something. If you need me to tell you that what we are, to know what we are, I'm not going to give it to you. Again, not consciously. It's just, it's not there. It's not there for him to access for you, feminine, if you need it from the masculine. But the masculine's, you know, he wants to go, 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 go. It's done for him, yeah? It's done for him. 4th card, the 10 of Cups, one of my favourites. I saw quite a lot of rainbows this week. Quite a lot of very powerful, beautiful rainbows. And it's about everything. It's about totality. It's about wholeness. It's about the sunshine and the rain. And that 10 of Cups and that rainbow is born in that. It's a celebration of both. And it's expansion, it's creativity, it's children, it's nature. Get out into nature in December. It's this whole week, this whole month is a month of celebration and togetherness and joy, and it's just, it's everything in this card. And I just love this so much because the masculine is just on that page completely. And I'm going to jump to card 4 for the feminine, the Fool. That makes her want to jump in all feet first. Let's go, go, go. It's a new beginning. There's an interesting dynamic here between this 10 of Cups and this Fool. This 10 feels like completion, feels like what we want to work towards. Feels like where we're going. This is what I want. I want this. I want this wholeness, this completion. I want everything. I want togetherness. I want, you know, the whole picture, the 2 children and the, you know, look at that, the perfection, the river running through it, the rainbow, the full spectrum, everything. But it seems that in opposition to this beginning again, Fool card. The Fool card is kind of, there's no future. There's just now. There's just always beginnings. So what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you leap because this is here to leap into? Or does this emerge from your leaping and not needing it to be there? Just a little question. To jump back now to the 3rd card for the feminine, the Hermit, and how that interplays with this 6. So I feel it's difficult for me to explain, but there is so much union here, and I am experiencing it. Like, so many, I'm getting people that I work with, and that people I have worked with are emailing, you know, and there's great stuff going on. I know there is. There's great stuff going on with people on this train, and it's amazing. But I completely, fully understand the perspective and the position of people that are not experiencing that, or don't feel like that's in their experience. And because what I want to say is I can feel that. It's like there is also this kind of, it's like there's a little bit of a gap between the experiencing of this and really. So I just kind of came out then and asked, like, how do we bridge that gap then? And I got this commitment again. It's, you know, I want to invite you to, you know, it is about committing. You've got to commit to this narrative, this story. If you want to be happy, then you've really got to take the action in alignment with it. And I'm completely here to be of service. Completely. It's all I desire, is just for everyone to be on the love train. So, but you do have to get on board. And it's a constant thing. It's a constant choice. And it is about taking full responsibility for your feeling love and your wanting to love and you know, it's like you do need to just take that step forward. And I know people struggle with it sometimes, but it's just like, you've just got to take that step. Sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which direction. Just take that step, and I promise you, then you'll feel like things are happening. It is about action. It's action, action, action. And unfortunately, I can't tell you what that action is. It's inspired action. It's intuitive action. It's action that just, you know, that's yours. It's yours to take. But again, very strong message for December. Take the action. Be brave. I mean, really brave. Really brave. In all of your life. Then you'll see the rewards. Another thing, if you're not seeing results, you're not, you don't want it. I know this is difficult, but it's like everything you have right now, you want. This situation right now, you want. So the way that you move on to the next thing that you want is to see how you have what you want now. That's how you bridge the gap. Because then you've bridged the gap between feeling as though you don't have what you want and that you do. So if you want what you want in the future, want it now. Look for how you are choosing where you are now. Why do you want it now? Because you do, I promise. And if you look and delve in deep, you'll find it. You'll be like, actually, this makes perfect sense that I'm at where I'm at. And life will keep you there until you realize that. If you feel stuck, you can't bridge it, that's how you bridge it. So, energy, let me just talk a bit more about this hermit. So, this hermit, it is about going within and finding your light, and it is about aloneness sometimes. This does feel like these two cards are about what I just discussed. I was kind of moving in that area. It's that there's a bit of a gap here. It's a bit like the feminine can't quite see, but she's finding it. So during December, that's what you've got to do. If you feel like you can't see, it's like it's going to emerge, don't worry. And everything that I just helped or advised in how to do that. But I do feel like the masculine's just like, I've won. He just knows he's won. He knows that this is a win. And yeah, it does feel like that, yeah, there's just action to take. And I just got this kind of vision of the energy kind of moving in and then kind of rising into this, to this Hierophant marriage. I want to say, it doesn't clarify, it doesn't have to be marriage, but I know you kind of know what it means. It's like, it's a commitment. The theme to this whole reading is commitment. Commit to where you are. Commit to what you've chosen already. Commit to how you are choosing. And, you know, it's so seamless then. Be where you are. See how you have what you want where you are, and then you will always, always be experiencing what you want. Right. Okay. Wow. So the feminine, yes, she is going to take this action. She is. She's taking this action in. She's focused. She knows. Look how interesting this is. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Knight of Swords. He's the messenger or the go-getter. He's the kind of guy that they command to do the action. Very important message. So, even though it might feel like or seem like the feminine is the one that's got to take the action and rush in, she's operating from the pair, from the king and queen over here. So it's like, again, it's just like the feminine may be taking the action, but who's called the, you know, who's calling it in? So, or who's creating it? So it's a bit like, it's not like she's being controlled. It's not that. That's not what I'm saying. It's not that. It's that you're both doing it. Whatever action gets taken, you're both doing it. It's coming from both of you. It doesn't matter who takes the action. And this is in every single relationship in your life. It doesn't matter who does what. It just matters that something happens, really. It matters that the action is taken, and the feminine's going to take that action. She's going. This is why this reading is so exciting. Energy, interesting. Energy, the masculine brings in is the Justice card. Again, this can be divorces. But it is justice. It's justice being done. It's, I see now. I see the balance. I see the truth. I see justice. I want justice to be done. The balance. I know who you are. But feminine, if you want justice, you got to go for it. You got to fight. You got to, it's not fighting. You just got to go. This guy, you know, going pretty fast. He may not know where he's going. Does he need to know? It's just move, you know, move, go. But what I'm getting is that the feminine for December, she's going to want to go. And it's up to you. It is up to the feminine to like take that action to get to the justice that's over here. Your justice will be done. Justice is about things coming to a very balanced, beautiful end. But it's not, it's also a beginning. It's a bit like it's the end of the fight. Yeah? There's been an argument. It's the end of the fight. There's no fight anymore. Masculine doesn't want to fight anymore. But the kind of paradoxical thing, again, is that the feminine has to kind of fight for the justice. Sometimes you have to fight for justice. Sometimes you have to fight to end the fight. But it's just, you've got to go in. You've got to get onto the field. But this is what's happening in December. The feminine's getting onto the field intensely with this action. And she's kind of moving it forward. She's the driver right now. The feminine's got to drive it forward. She's now, you know, it's like, the way I see it, it's like the feminine rises, the masculine rises, and the feminine rises again. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's where or what. It just really doesn't matter. But there's action to be taken. Crowning the Page of Pentacles. So, practicalities. Again, how do... I mean, look how he's sitting below the Hierophant. It's really a big focus for December, the practical stuff. That's what we've really got to focus on. The practicalities. It's not about, I'm going to say, you know, the spiritual stuff, actually, because you don't need to worry about that. It's just like love is love. Love is, you know, consciousness, love, you know, life. It's here, it's happening. This month, it's about focusing on the practical issues. And there's a big, huge level of support here to push forward to making this work practically. And, you know, it just feels like, as I said, it might look like the feminine's doing a lot of the peddling and the masculine isn't doing much. But he's calling it over here. Yeah? It's only because he's come into balance with these swords that Knight of Swords gets put into action. These two send him out. And it's like your one thing. Energy's doing this. Root is the Four of Swords. So, well, I'm just letting that kind of energy come into the reading, because that just kind of appeased. It's quite dramatic, but then it's also that there's this rest, and there's this solid rest, and there is no rush. The funny thing is, when we allow that ourselves rest, then we can take the action, then we can wake up in the morning. So it's like, if you get a good night's sleep, you know exactly what, you wake up in the morning refreshed and ready to go. If you don't allow rest to be the driving force, the action doesn't get taken. So you've got to make sure that you look after yourself and you get good sleep. It's a very strong message. Get good sleep. Sleep is the governing factor of health. It impacts all our kind of impulsive choices, the circadian rhythm. And I mean, I personally, even if I don't get enough sleep, I crave sugar, because the body's looking for fuel, other fuel, you know, or caffeine is the other one. And it affects our intuition, those things, or it's that we essentially just kind of can get a bit off. But you'll just notice, if you don't, your mood is so impacted by sleep. Sleep is just so important. And you know, I've been traveling around a bit, and you know, if you travel, you know, jet lag is really has a massive impact on people. And as I said, like circadian rhythm. And the reason I travel is often because of light, you know. Because light is very important to my operating at my highest level. So it's important that you allow light into your life. And I think this is an important message about, it's, you know, it's winter in the Northern Hemisphere. It's coming into winter. It's coming into the shortest, you know, it's the solstice. So this is a message for, about the solstice and about light and about really making the effort to rest. It's like sleep when it's dark, you know? If it feels dark outside, sleep. you know, physically, metaphorically, however you want that to be, it's like rest. If you feel like it's dark, rest. The sun will rise. And if you rest when it's dark, then when the sun rises, you're ready to go, you know? There he is. Okay, let's go for an outcome. I love you guys. Outcome, Ace of Pentacles. I mean, this is about the abundance. This is about this month being about realizing the value of you, of this, of the value that life will give you. It's about you being rewarded, basically, for your work. You will be rewarded for this. You are being rewarded, but you will be. The outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new beginning. It's a new opportunity. It's an opportunity for a new level of abundance. It's a strong message that when these masculine and feminine work together, and this is not the first time this has come up, there's a lot of literal, like, support, money, monetary support, which is, you know, is needed for, you know, for life at the moment. It's part of life, and we can't neglect it. And I think maybe some people have been feeling like it was opposite to love. But when money and love work together, wow. It's not, because money really isn't anything other than energy. It's a fuel. It's just fuel. So it's like, let's fuel this with, you know, let's together we are more abundant. So together, masculine, feminine, together in our community. And I'm so passionate about, like, building this community of love, and I do, and I feel like it's like there's a train, and get on the train with me. And I know you're here, and thank you for being here with me. But it's a bit like, I don't know, get more people on the train, or I don't know, just it's like, don't be afraid, and just, you're not alone. Oh, this is one message that I wanted to say last month that didn't come out. Okay, this is really, really important. So when just before I stopped doing personal readings and I saw a lot of people, tried to see as many people as I could, I noticed something about the people that I was seeing. And it was that they tend to keep this secret. It's like this, there's a lot of people that have this secret life. And I can understand, because people have, there's different circumstances, and I get it. But if you want your dream life to be real, then you've got to talk about it. Like, you've got to be in it. You've got to talk about it. So I had this, and I'm gonna say it, and I want those that have this, it's a secret, or this, if your love is a secret, it's gonna remain one, you know, unless you let it not be a secret. That doesn't mean you have to tell all the world about it, but tell one person. And you don't have to name names. You don't have to do anything other than just talk about your experience. And you don't need to, you know, you can put it in, it's like, there are ways. There are ways. If it seems inappropriate, there are ways, and there will be one person. If you want to make this real, if you want to bridge the gap between what you perceive to be being together or not in love, and if we as a collective want to do that too, we got to communicate to one another about our love. Even if it's a stranger, if you feel like it would be bad for anybody that you know, I want you to find a stranger. I mean, for real, not online. You got to make it real in your life if you want it real in your life. And this is what I mean about taking responsibility. This is what I mean about taking action. It's not about texting. though it might be. But it is about, you know, together we are more. Together we have everything. Together we begin again. Together we are abundant. We are one. The ace. We're one. We're one. Amazing, beautiful, perfect, golden coin that has two sides. It's one coin. Maybe it's dark on the other side of this coin. It's still the coin. Maybe the light's only on this side. Maybe it's good and bad. Is that good or bad? Is it night and day? It's one beautiful coin. Life. And it's so full and so abundant and always new. And it's here. But it is about taking the action, as I said. You got to make it real. You got to let it be real. But it's here. There's marriage. There's togetherness. There's divorce. There's freedom. There's action. There's just, you know, it's continuation. It's a continuation of, you know, I mean, it feels a long, long time ago since last month's reading. I'm sorry if this doesn't feel like a continuation, because I just feel like there's been a lot of stuff that's happening, and I hope you're watching the weekly readings, because they just bump it, you know, keep you up to date with how things move. And for December, all this stuff is very important, and I want you to watch it again. You got to watch things again. I have to tell you why I advise this. Intuitively always, so it's intuitively I advise it. But also, people that I have worked with in the past, if they watch the ones that kind of use it as a meditation, or they just, it's like you have it, you know, just playing or whatever, you pick up things. There are so many messages that you're going to miss from reading, you know, watching once. So give it another go. Anytime, you know, but let it be intuitive as well. But maybe it's just 10 minutes. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Maybe just like go to, like, I don't know, just scroll along, listen to a couple of minutes. Oh, there it is, you know. You know, I want you to get your messages, but you have to kind of, sometimes you have to just make a little bit more effort to get them, you know? Because I'm passionate about every single individual. I'm talking to you now. These messages are yours. Okay. Sorry, I know I'm feeling a bit impassioned again, very impassioned. But it's because I love you. And I'm just so excited about this. It just feels so here. And I suppose I do have that feeling, like, I think people have it as well. Like, it's so close, and why, you know, it feels so near and yet so far. And I think maybe that's why I kind of go where I'm going. But now we'll just chill out a bit and go into the RUMI. This has been a bit of a long reading. A little bit of an interesting shuffle with these cards. Okay, let's get a great card. Ooh, this one's a bit. Oh wow. Oh yes. I love this one. Number 38, the courage of your love, and I shall read this. Love is without reason. Rationality is like a cane. Judgment needs a cane because it is blind. When love arrives, thought dies in its shadow. Love is the sunrise, while thought is only a flashing light. I do not bleat at you like a sheep for to startle you from your slumber. I need to roar like a lion. You must awake, my beloved. There is no time to waste, for the wolves are circling, hungry for sacred flesh. So I shall roar mightily, and although at first you recoil in fear, soon enough you will see the wolves. You become aware and grateful to have been thus awoken. Ah, yes, you remember that you have a precious human life to protect. You fear me no more. You thank me. You jump on my back as if you were a warrior astride a wild mount. You roar then, along with me, awakening the others as we cause the ground to rumble, disturbing those even in their deepest slumber. You, like me, are a fierce lion, not a lamb to be led to so many slaughters, the variety of and opportunity for which is available in terrible abundance in our world. There is a Sufi story about a mother with her breast leaking milk. She loses her child, and once she finds him again, instantly lets him suckle for as long as he needs. A Sufi master nearby says to his students, "Do you think she would throw her baby into the fire?" And the students all say, "No, of course not." And the master replies, "Allah loves his children more than she, with enough tenderness to throw them into the fire." So it is with love. At first, as a young heart, you want only comfort for your beloved. You cannot bear the thought of pain within them, even for a moment. Your own suffering is easier than bearing the suffering of your beloved. That young heart grows wise through experience. It becomes an elder, an ancient heart tempered by grace and rendered strong with compassion. This is the great heart that can hold the suffering of the world within it, and yet still find space for peace, for sweetness, for tenderness, and for rapture. This is the heart that shines with courageous love. It is willing to feel and bear all suffering without judgment, whilst gently holding it in the truth of what that suffering really is, the drying out of the mind addicted to suffering. This drying out is necessary so that love can ignite itself and transform dead wood into living fire. The drying out is a challenging and enduring process. The path of freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation into great power. So many lapses will happen before the heart grows strong enough to overpower old patterns and surrender without condition or equivocation. When it is ready to surrender in such a way, the heart is free and allowed to simply be. Even the mind then, finally freed from shackles and joyfully submitting to love, declares, "Let love be, in whatever way it shall be. I can bear it. I shall take refuge in it. I shall not turn away from it. I am that love." You are an ancient one with a heart older than the mountains. You are being asked to free yourself from the too small loves of the youthful heart and come to understand and accept the wisdom of your mature heart. Your mature heart is not cursed with hardness or detachment, but with compassion and tenacious devotion to the cause that is most real and matters most, the quest for life of the human soul. Your ancient heart loves the soul and will roar like a lion of love at the wolves that would casually devour it. So trust in the courage of your heart. You are not cruel. You are not hard. You are not careless. You are passion personified. You are the lion of love. So allow yourself to be the lion, not the lamb. Stand true in your own heart. Cause trouble. Make noise. Be proud and be mighty. Then rest. After all that savage divinity, rest and restore. For day after day you shall claim your holy lands and refuse to give them up to less noble creatures. Though you survey their manipulations and attempts to claim power with compassion, you do not underestimate them or relax your vigilance. You shall not allow, for even a moment, that falsehood be accepted as truth in your heart. This oracle comes with particular guidance for you. You are not to give in to less than you are worth, or to the shaming stories of others of our culture that would cast your regal lion nature into the falsehood of beliefs that you have no choice or power. You are not to give in to the idea that you are victim and cannot free yourself from your suffering, or that you are less than any other. These are lies. These are petty deceptions so unworthy of you. Do not believe them. Roar at them until the weak glue holding them together melts under the fire of your holy breath, and they lie dismembered and powerless at your feet. Then intend that those bits and pieces in decay are lovingly returned to the Earth Mother, through whom they can be used to fertilize new life. This oracle comes with another message for you. You have a challenge before you, or that you are now moving through, but you have what is necessary to succeed and overcome it. No matter how long it has endured, or how big you have built that challenge up to be in your mind, no matter how unsolvable the issue appears to be, there is and shall be a victory beyond it. It is imminent. This oracle has come to you to let you know you are empowered to succeed, you have what is required within to do it, and that the time for your victory is drawing near. So do not give up. Instead, when you feel inclined, open your mouth and roar love from the very depths of your being. Create a sound of truth for yourself. In that sound you will hear the mightiest one of all roaring along with you, saying, "Yes, love, I am with you, and together we claim divine victory. So we roar, how we roar." Just rest a moment and close your eyes if you can. I call on RUMI, Lion of Love, and my own wise higher self. I now choose to assert the dignity of my soul and the power of my heart. I release all lesser bonds based in fear and deception. I no longer need to hold on to these. I am ready for truth, and with unconditional love, I am supported, protected, and guided on my path to victory, held in guardianship by the unending power of love. So be it. I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. Links to the weekly Vimeo will be below, as well as links to the other readings on YouTube here for you. Rewatch this reading, even if it's just 10 seconds here and there. It's all in here for you. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And thank you for loving. See you again very soon.